How does Peacemaker Season 2 fit into this new DC Studios universe? Let's talk about it in the premiere episode of Peacemaker Season 2. Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for the premiere episode of Peacemaker Season 2. Very exciting stuff. I will go into spoilers, but not just yet. So let me give you some spoiler-free thoughts. And then if you haven't seen the episode, you can go check it out. I will up front, I will tell you this was a great beginning of the episode. I recommend, first of all, there's a little after credits sting, which they had been doing in the first season, just like little comedic moments, little extensions of like some scenes you saw. We also have the inside the episode piece by piece where we get a little bit of commentary from the actors, from James Gunn. It's really cool. So make sure to stay tuned for all that after the show. But yeah, this was a great season of Peacemaker. I really enjoyed, first of all, how they kind of reconciled everything with the end of season one and the changing of the guard from the old DCEU into this new iteration of DC Studios. I really like that it's really tongue in cheek, but it's also like pretty much how the comics would have done it. So we'll talk about that in spoilers. Um, John Cena delivering a great performance, in the aftermath of everything that happened in season one. These characters are going through a difficult time, all of them, right? Hardcore, Adebayo, even Economos, like the whole gang, except for Vigilante, he's still having a good time. But yeah, the whole gang, they're going through like this existential crisis because they don't really know where they belong, right? They saved the world and they really thought that would really put them on top of the world itself and just accomplish everything they've been wanting to. But Peacemaker, of course, had to kill his father in the first season. Adebayo outed out everything that was being done by Amanda Waller. So like, there's a lot for this group to just that they haven't been able to put behind. Now, we don't get to see a lot of Argus, but we do get to see Rick Flag, of course, coming in as the new head of Argus. We know there's a motivation there, right? Peacemaker. If you haven't seen the Suicide Squad film, Peacemaker killed his son, Rick Flag Jr. So now Rick Flag Sr., Frank Grillo doing a fantastic job bringing that character back into the TV in the small screen. From the Creature Commandos, then to Superman, now to this. Like, it seems like Rick Flag is one of the characters that is connecting and weaving in and out all this DC universe. So that's very cool. We get to see a lot of the stuff that we had seen in the trailers. It looks like a lot of the trailers is from the first couple of episodes, from what I can tell. And they are really going out. James Gunn mentions that he loves putting in little things like that door to that pocket dimension, and just kind of like they could have been that throwaway thing in one story, but then he's kind of making a whole story out of that. We get some really fun cameos about the larger DC universe and the comics, of course. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. Really exciting stuff. So we're gonna get into spoilers. I'm gonna hit some of the highlights, and then you guys let me know what you thought of the episode down below. So we begin. First of all, we got to talk about the new intro, right? I think the bar was set pretty high when it came to the dancing sequence. We get another dancing sequence. The song, to me, is not as catchy as the original one. And it's hard to replicate something, but maybe that's even kind of the point, that you can really replicate it. And sometimes when you just try is not as good as the first version of itself. And that's sometimes also how TV works. Sometimes the first season or the second season is just not as good as the second one. So, but fun intro nonetheless. This one, I don't know that is unskippable like that for season one, but I did love seeing some behind the scenes of them like doing the choreographed dance and having everybody actually be there. Yeah, it's a great fun intro as well. They also very easily retcon the end of season one, where the Justice League showed up. In the flashbacks, as Peacemaker is talking to then like an elementary classroom, he just mentions that they just really retconned it to be the Justice Gang that shows up in that end credit scene, or at the end of Peacemaker season one. We still see Superman, but it's not David Cornsweet. It's a different. It just we can't really tell who it is. But we see Guy Gardner, we see Hawkgirl, So they Green Lantern has the kind of like they had a joke with Aquaman about him, doing stuff to fish. Great Guy Gardner has a line where Peacemaker also made up a rumor about him. So they really just kind of retcon that in a really interesting way where now it fits. And you don't have to, there is no need to examine or elaborate any further. It is what it is. That's what the story is now. So that's what's happening, right? We haven't seen, as of now, David Cornsweet, Superman, but we have seen the Justice Gang, so that's pretty cool. In the first scene with the interview with the Justice Gang, when Peacemaker goes to talk to them, we get to see a little cool cameo of White Rabbit. I think this may feel like a throwaway character. She is a character that is in the comics, but it's not like a really. It's it's kind of the lower tier villains. But I have seen her recently in the comics, in the Batman and Robin book. We get mentions of Belle Reve, Arkham, the Luthor incident. We get mentions of other heroes as well in this alternate dimension that Peacemaker goes to. We catch up with everyone, right? Amelia Harcourt also having a really hard time finding another job. Adebayo also, because of everything that she did in season one, uh, you know, she also, they're all kind of lost. And of course Vigilante went back to his job at the restaurant. So but they do make a point to say that the person that was the dishwasher back then has now moved up to being a manager while Vigilante remains being a busboy. So they really have all these little, James Gunn has all these little shortcuts as to like fill you in on storytelling. Hardcore is looking for fights at the bar, and then once Christopher, a Peacemaker, discovers after having an orgy party in his house, um, he discovers that there is the alternate dimension where there's another universe with a Peacemaker world, right? James Gunn mentioned there are 99 doors in this little pocket universe, and Peacemaker goes through it, and he sees his father, and he sees his brother who's still alive in this dimension. This is kind of like the idyllic dimension for Peacemaker, where he is a hero. He's got the girl, he's got his family, he's got everything that he's always ever wanted in this other dimension. But when the regular Peacemaker shows up, which the TV calls him Peacemaker 2, they fight. And as Peacemaker 1 is trying to get back to his own universe, he kills himself from the other universe. So to me, this means that he's going to try to live in that other universe where he thinks that he has everything that he always ever wanted. And that's going to be the big conflict, right? Getting him back from that other universe. And of course, Argus chasing him down, Rick Flag trying to avenge his dead son. So there's a lot of really interesting ideas that I think are going to happen in this season. We do get a little bit of comedic moments as always. Economist has really dumb conversation with Vigilante. So it looks like they all kind of stayed in touch. There's a little after credit scene where they kind of they do a little joke about the Spin Doctors being a better band than 30 Seconds to Mars, which, if you really want to dig into it, could be like James Gunn's, because 30 Seconds to Mars was the head singer was Jared Leto. So if you really want to start some stuff and get some clickbaity articles, like, dig into that if you want, right? Is James Gunn saying that something about Jared Leto? I don't think that's the case. I just think it's 30 Seconds to Mars was a really popular band for a little bit, but there was a lot of people that did not enjoy the music. I like 30 Seconds to Mars, so I thought it was a funny line. But yeah, and then of course we get the inside of the episode at the end. So overall, very enjoyable episode of Peacemaker. I'm really glad this show's back. I don't know if I'll be covering it weekly. It depends if this video does well, and if you guys are enjoying this and want more, then I'll make more videos about this season. So really interesting to really dig down and check out um, all the little more Easter eggs and anything that I might have missed. But I think I was keeping a pretty good eye, pretty interesting notes. So we'll definitely haven't seen a lot of the stuff from the trailer, so I'm excited to see all that. And I really want to explore this idea of Peacemaker being in this world where he thinks he has everything that he wants, that he's ever wanted in life, including his brother, who played by Roy from The Office. I think his name is David Dunham. So I forget the name of the actor, but yeah, I was like, oh, look, it's Roy. But yeah, it really makes sense that he does look like they would be siblings, which is interesting because he's taller than John Cena, and it's really hard for me to imagine people just being bigger than John Cena. But he happens to his older brother happens to be taller than him. Really interesting to see his relationship with his father, who is completely different than the person we met in season one. So great stuff, and really looking forward to seeing how this all plays out for season two. So if you have seen this episode, let me know what you thought about Peacemaker premiere for season two. Let me know if there are Easter eggs or little cameos or anything that I might have missed. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.